Hello everyone, this is Cari for Redesign with Prima and welcome to another ornament tutorial. And I have some really awesome and fun things to share with you today. A few different things than you normally see. I use a variety of art mediums and they're really fun. And I think that I'm going to show you some things that you may not have known about previously. So what I do is I mix up my clear resin. I like to use clear resin rather than the fast casting resin for some of these projects because I feel like the fast casting resin just cures a little bit too quickly for me. And it is hard to wait. You have to wait 24 hours for this stuff to cure, which is fine. Now I am adding our Sparks paints. It's our Art Alchemy Sparks paints by Finnabair, and then our liquid acrylics. And I think many of you don't even know that you can use this in the resin. The Sparks and the liquid acrylics work amazingly. So the Sparks paint is called Night Shadow. It's a really deep blue shimmering acrylic paint. And then the Prussian blue liquid acrylic is very concentrated, so you only need a few drops. One thing I want to tell you is if you add these art mediums to your resin, it does make the resin set up a little bit faster than normal. So the more you add, the quicker it's going to set up. So your work time kind of cuts down a little bit. And you only need to add a very little bit. Like you saw me just add a little dollop of the paint and a few drops of the liquid acrylic. And that's really all you need. Now, if you want the color to be more concentrated, of course, add more. Or you want it to be more translucent, add less. And then I carefully go with my paper cup and just slowly add it. Now this really helps avoid a lot of bubbles because sometimes in these more intricate molds with these designs, you will find that you'll get more bubbles than usual. And that's just because the resin's thick and it really needs to go into all of those crevices. So make sure that you stir your resin slowly and then make sure you stir it very well once you add the mediums, and then pour slowly. Those are my tips and tricks for successful castings. I do go in with a toothpick and help move that resin around. You can move it into the more intricate areas. I don't even mind over pouring just a bit, in some areas, but you should just try to avoid that if you can. Here I am going in with the toothpicks like I mentioned. I just move it around and make sure that it gets in there nicely and evenly. You also want to make sure that the surface that you're pouring on is level, because if it's not, your resin is self-leveling. All resin is, and it will go into the areas where it flows into if it's uneven. So I added the resin into first the Frosted Snowflake Wonders mold, and then I decided to make a few more ornaments with our Shimmering Holiday Ornaments mold as well. These are really highly detailed, very beautiful, very intricate, and the results are really stunning. So now, once you pour, you can go with a torch. So I just got a torch at a local shop, and you go over it quickly. Like you want to keep that torch moving till you pop the bubbles. Check it again 20 minutes later, pop more bubbles if you find them. That's a really good tip. You can also spray with rubbing alcohol. It does also help get rid of those bubbles. It's not going to be perfect all the time. You'll get better at it as you practice. And I'm really happy with how they turned out. There is a little overpour in that one part, but that's easy to remove. I'll show you that in just a bit. And these did cure overnight. I just pour into the molds and I leave them, and then, I take them out the next day. Another thing that resin really doesn't like is high humidity. So also be aware of that. Now that my resins are ready, you can see that beautiful deep blue color. What I wanted to do is enhance all of those details. So I lightly mist with my water mister, and now I'm going in with our glaze. This is called Mint Condition. It's a very thick glaze. It goes on very thoroughly, and it is meant to, give kind of like that patina effect. So I go in with my brush, I make sure I get into all those little grooves, because when I wipe it back, I want it to remain in those little detailed areas to really make them pop, to make them show. So this is so fun. And it's such a beautiful, like light minty color. It brightens it up a little bit. And I think the contrast between that and the darker color from the resin that I got is really nice. But, you know, you can certainly, you know, try different colors and try different things that will match your decor or your tree. And I know that I heard that navy and gold is really big this year. So I don't know if that's true, but this would be perfect for a tree like that. I think that they would look really, really elegant on a, you know, a themed colored tree. So again, I'm just going to go in and wipe back that glaze like I mentioned before. I take a baby wipe, all right, and I just kind of wipe. And then what I like to also do is make sure that that baby wipe, I move it so that I get a clean surface every once in a while, you know, like fold it. And then I'll pounce also. So I wipe and I pounce, but I don't remove too much. If I do, it's not a big deal. You can go in, add a little bit more, and then wipe back again. For this technique too, you have to move sort of quickly because the glaze will dry on there and it may not remove as nicely as you want. Now here, remember I told you about that overpour? I use nail clippers. I just remove that extra little bit. You know, if it's cured and too hard, I can't remove it with my fingers. I love to go in with nail clippers and just remove that excess. It works perfectly. It also doesn't make the edges too sharp either. So again, just going in with those baby wipes, folding it, getting a clean area, removing, and I repeat the process for all of these. So now I have successfully removed all the glaze that I wanted to, and you can see how it goes into the depths of that design and really brings it to life. And at this stage, I've let this glaze dry for a couple of hours, and before I move on to the next step. Here I'm adding our liquid color fluid medium. So this is actually a paint extender that we developed for the Art Alchemy liquid acrylics. And I found that it just gave these ornaments a beautiful glossy shine because our ornaments are a matte mold. So you're going to get a matte finish when you demold. So I wanted that glossy finish, and this was just so easy to do. You just simply wipe it on with a brush, go in as evenly and as thoroughly as possible, and it dries, I think, within 20 minutes, I would say. And 20 minutes might even be a little bit long. Another idea is you can mix up a little bit of your clear resin, take a silicone brush, and, you know, do like a flood coat over your ornament. That means you just give that ornament an extra coat of clear resin, and that will make them shine as well. But I will do a video on that and show you exactly how to do that very, very soon. I do plan to do that for you. So the liquid medium is just a quicker and user-friendly way to give your molds or your castings that glossy shine. So the next layer that I'm going to show you is adding the Art Alchemy Aged Brass Wax. This is also from our Finnabair collection. And so this just adds another layer of interest to your ornaments, a little bit shimmer, a little bit shine. And I love how I have the three colors together. So again, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you can certainly play around with different color combinations, you know, with silver or, you know, like a bronze or, you know, a copper even. And I just add it with my finger. You just go over very, very lightly. I don't want to like dig in with the wax and, you know, get into all the details like too much. I just want it to be a nice light layer just to highlight a few of those details that are a little bit raised, a little bit higher. You know, another thing I like to do, especially with ornaments, because they hang on a tree, they are dimensional, you can see the sides of them. So I do like to go in and add some of that wax to the edges, the sides. It gives it like just sort of a polished, you know, look, a finished look. And this is where I go in with those ornaments I did with the shimmering holiday ornament decor mold. I just wanted you to see how all of these little details, you know, come out with some of the wax. It's really quick, it's really easy, and they look so nice. And now, of course, I'm just adding a little bit of ribbon to, you know, hang the ornaments with. I chose this gauzy sort of teal colored shimmering ribbon, but I really think that you could take a ribbon that's the same color as the wax. I think that would look stunning, and that would really bring out that shimmering metallic look as well. I just didn't have any on hand, so I used this ribbon instead, but the choice is yours. So here they are all finished. I love all of the colors layered together. There's shimmer, there's sort of a vintage vibe going with some of those, some of that patina that comes through from the glaze. And I just love how dimensional they came out. If you have any questions about what I used today, please let me know. I will have everything listed in the description for you so you know what I used. And if you have any questions, please let us know in the comments. We will have more ornament tutorials coming soon for you. We want to continue this all through the holiday season. And we really appreciate you watching. Make sure to subscribe and follow for more. Have a great day.